What's up, fellas? Noradoom here. We're playing more Commons, Rares, Warlocks, Ninjas, in my alternate account Blight, and we're ranking up. This is game 7 for us. And we're seeing how our deck is doing. So, I get rid of 5 drops and higher, typically. I want to keep a 4 drop, only because that was my cheapest unit in my hand. So right now our curve is a little high. We're going to say greetings. We're going against Pirates, Warlocks. Let's see how we do. So I actually just played a game 7, but in the middle of it, our opponent, I guess he disconnected or something, and we won. But I'm not going to count that game because I want to get an accurate representation of how the deck is performing. Did I say greetings? I think I did. But do it again. Ooh, okay, so now we're getting into some buildings. And here, Uncontrolled Burst is not useful for us. I'm going to play the Mage Apprentice and move him up and hopefully tag that altar. And if I can tag the altar, then I can use Uncontrolled Burst or Headless to finish it off. If I get up to 6 gold, I can use Headless and Lunge to... Here's my tool. To get to that square there. If I get to that square there, then I can pierce the building and hit his castle as well. Okay. So he's definitely playing some control stuff. I'm going to move with the Fire Drake here. And chances are he's going to block with something or try to kill it. But I prefer to attack his castle and then use the Uncontrolled Burst on the altar. Yes or no? Actually, no, it would have been better the other way. Because if I attack his castle, that's 3 damage, plus 2 from chain, which is 5. If I attack the altar, I can kill the altar. The castle chains for 2, and Uncontrolled Burst to the castle is 4, which is 6. So, just made a mistake, but then I figured it out. So now I know in the future. I don't have to doubt myself. Here, we're looking at Firewall instead. I'm just going to go with that. And now the question is, do I want Uncontrolled Burst? I'm thinking no. I'm going to leave it like I have movement speed buffs, and I have tag team. If this guy survives, I'm going to tag team him out and probably play him again. If he doesn't survive, once I draw other guys, I should be able to get them close enough to the castle to tag it. So most of these buffs are not really meant to be used on Headless. What Headless is for firewalls and for dark fires. It's like he has built-in lunge or built-in adrenaline rush. Nice. He poisoned it for 1. Oh no, Rat King. Never mind. So he had to sacrifice his Rat King though. He got... Okay, he's playing buildings. So I do want a dark fire at some point. And I can lunge here if I want to. Might not be a bad idea. Simply because I want more damage into the castle, and we're removing his gold boost. Gonna get rid of the Guild of Scoundrels because it'll poison our units. So typically when you're playing Pirates, Warlocks, those decks are more in tune towards being aggro. They can also be control, but our opponent, I'm guessing he wanted to be aggro, and he just never got the chance to be aggro. So we have an interesting choice here. I can use Headless now with Lunge, or I can save it and play Darkfire. I think I'm going to use it now simply because it's my only play. My only other option is playing Uncontrolled Burst and then doing nothing with the rest of the gold and having no board presence. I'm gonna repeat some of the tips, guys, but yeah, keeping my units on his side of the board means that he's forced to deal with them, or else my guys will attack the castle. And if I keep the action on that side of the board, then I get more opportunities to use Fire Worlds and Dark Fires. So if I get in with a Dark Fire, that's 7 damage. If I get it with Uncontrolled Burst, that's 4. Thinking here, let me use the Uncontrolled Burst, simply because I have the gold and I can't do anything else. So now I need to do 5 damage to the castle. If I get a Scout, I can lunge for 5. 3 from his attack, 2 from the lunge, and then Dark Fire for 7. That's 12 damage. If I get Mage Apprentice, I can't use the Dark Fire. But I could use the lunge and then possibly Grotesque Offering. So in these couple of games, I'm using Grotesque Offering in place of Dark Bolt to draw the card instead of dealing 2 extra damage to see how that goes for us. If in this game our opponent gets down to about 3 damage health, his castle, and we're not able to win, then we know we wanted the Dark Bolt and we wanted Spirit Blast over the Uncontrolled Burst. So at this point, our opponent is overrunning the board, which is not good. If I Witch Bolt, he'll be able to draw another card. But if I Witch Bolt, then he's not going to be able to deal 4 damage to us with this guy. And that'll give us a turn. Might give us a turn extra. Now he can only deal 4 damage on the board, at least, to us right now, instead of the 8 he would have dealt if that Flower Knight was still on the board. He's getting some ramp because of his building, and there's his Dark Fire. And there's his second Headless. Did we get a Dark... Oh no, we still have our Dark Fire. Oh no. So now we're wishing we had more units. That Uncontrolled Burst was sitting in our hand, and I was pondering the slot where Uncontrolled Burst was, which was previously Spirit Blast, if we wanted a Vampire there. And I think especially if we're running Grotesque Offerings, we will want the Vampire there. We're just going to pass here, because we can't do anything, and we'll see if we lose. Yep, that's it. This game. We're going to say respect. We're going to let our opponent finish us off. And game 7 was a loss for us. So the thing that the lesson I'm going to take away here is, yes, having more units is good. Potentially the Vampire. Another unit I'm considering is Dancing Swords. There's also Shadow Drake, but I'm not excited for Shadow Drake. Shadow Drake will sneak in there with his movement, and maybe I'll try him out first and then decide that I hate him. Okay, I will see you guys for game number 8. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe below.